What's up, everybody? Let's see, I gotta make sure everyone can hear me okay. Alright, oh cool, you guys can hear me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now I'm realizing I didn't set the cameras to auto-rotate, but you know what? I think this is gonna be just fine the way it is. And let you guys ask all your questions. So, today we're doing something a little different. Uh-oh, I need to get the scoreboard off the top of the screen there. We're going to do things a little different today. We're going to be, I'm just literally going to be practicing for my upcoming match against Peter Kai. And then, while I'm doing that, I'm going to answer all of your guys' questions as much as I possibly can. Oh, there's an echo. Yeah, so I'm going to have to, I know how to fix the echo, Ivy. Thank you for letting me know. I can fix that really fast. I know right where that's at. That is right here, I believe. Where the heck? It's right here. That should fix it right there. Okay. In the chat, hey guys, let me know if that fixed the echo real quick. And guys, thank you for the echo issue. Let's see. Sounds good. Sounds better now. Hey guys, thank you so much. So, one of the first things that that I do when I'm getting ready to play, besides like stretching, which sounds kind of goofy, but yeah, you need to stretch, is I will actually tape up my fingers, because if I don't, even when I played left-handed the other day, when I use the mallet and I hit too hard, it actually pulls the skin away from my nail and I'll bleed. Even if I'm practicing alone, the way that I whip the mallet will actually cause my fingers to start bleeding after a few minutes. So I actually have to wrap up my fingers just so I don't bleed. The pinky, I normally only wrap that when I'm playing against like Josiah or Spec because they hit the puck off the table and it smashes up my pinky. So, all right. This is that moment where I'm just going to start practicing like crazy. And you guys get to ask me as many questions as possible to keep me busy while I do my practice. Like already I'm seeing Ivy in the chat asking how should people typically hold the mallet. Let me show you how to do that. Oh, cool. We do have it auto-rotating. Okay, which camera am I on now, though? Okay, I'm on this camera. I'm going to have to like follow this thing all around the room, aren't I? This is how you want to hold it. 3 fingers like this. You do not want to hold it on top of the nub like a peasant. You hold it with 3 fingers like this. So that way you're able to whip it extra. So take a look at this here. If I am leaning across the table, right, and I have my hand on top of the mallet, I can only get to right about here. Whereas if I'm holding it with 3 fingers, look how much further I can reach, right? I have to be careful I don't go over the line. I actually did that the other day quite a few times. The other reason we hold it like this is so we can hit it way harder. When I'm holding it like a noob, I'm restricted by my elbow. I can only hit to here, right, and it auto stops me. Whereas if you're holding it like this, you can whip it and go past that point. And lastly, it's so that way you can stop the puck. See, when we hit it, when we get it back, we have to stop it so we get possession of it. If I'm holding it like this, it's a little bit too firm, and it's really hard to stop it as easily. When you're holding it like this, it's super loose, so it can just use its own weight against it and stop the puck. So this is great for offense to reach out further. It's great for defense to stop the puck. And it's extra good for offense so you can hit it really stinking hard because most people don't hit it hard enough. Great question, by the way. So one of the warm-ups I like to do is I like to do a diamond drift, which if you guys have ever wondered how we do that, we basically hit the puck and then go past it and then hit it on its way back, right? The idea is that it makes a giant diamond shape on the table. It comes up to here, we hit it back, and it comes back to here, right? So that is this big diamond shape. But the faster that you do it, instead of hitting it point blank, you skim the side of it so it actually goes straight across the table this way, right? Basically, it goes in a straight line back and forth while you're just doing this sort of a thing, right? Make sense? Does anyone that you know hold it like a noob? Liam asks that in the chat. Yes, but they're noobs. So is there anybody that holds it like that that's professional? Is that what you meant? And if that's what you meant, the answer is not really. There's a few pros that when they go to defense, even though they have their 3 fingers in it like this, they then put their index and thumb on the nub like this so they can quickly go back to it. But when they're on defense, they hold it like that. So it's sort of a hybrid hold, if you will. So they will hold it like this normally, but then when they go to defend, they hold it like that. But it's still not the same as this. Great question, by the way, Liam. So I will warm up by doing a bunch of these, and that just helps me to get in a rhythm. The hard thing is to do the reverse drift. The reverse drift is the opposite one. This one actually Spec falls prey to a lot, so I want to do a bunch of this drift right here So you get ready to do the cut and right while under against spec this way. So drifting is any time that we have the puck in motion like this, right? So a lot of noob players will just hit it, and they get it back, and they hit it again, they hit it again, they hit it again, and this is how a new player plays, right? But the way a pro plays is they stop it, they set it up, they hit it hard, they get it back, they stop it again, they set it up, they make their shot, right? And that drift that I'm talking about is when the puck is moving. So if we have the puck in motion, then it makes those shots extra tricky to expect, right? So the idea is that we want to keep drifting it. Okay, let's see, I'm looking at the chat for questions. This is your guys' chance to ask me any questions while I just practice here. We got Listen Official, is that what it said? No, that's J-Stone Official. We have a broken TV. We just recently broke this TV over here last Monday when one of the guys hit the puck into it. We're going to take it to the range and shoot it. But asking is, what the heck am I watching? Basically, what you're watching is a pro air hockey player. I'm practicing getting ready for my big match this upcoming Monday to take back #1 in Idaho and number 28 in the world. Great question. I was thinking about keeping score every time I answer a question, but that would just get kind of insane. We got John in the chat saying, yo, what's up, buddy? What's up, what's up? We got man, that TV's so messed up I can't read it. I should switch sides. I don't know if this is going to bug spec or not. Yeah, look at that TV, how messed up it is. I'm going to switch sides so I can actually read the chat. How about that? Take a look at this beautiful thing from our friends Puck Buddies. I don't know if you guys are going to see that. They made this beautiful goal blocker for us. And they have those for sale, by the way, if anybody wants to give them some biz. We got YT Sandra saying, what's up, bro? What's up, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. This is just me doing some practice. You can ask me any questions you'd like. John saying, Ro. We got Rough Cactus saying hi. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is just a lot of drifting, getting ready for the match that's coming up on Monday. We got Go Sixers in the chat asking, when you see the lovely Ruth, you know you're watching the best league in the business. Ruth is amazing. She helped us buy my house. She helped my family buy their houses. She helped my sister buy her house, my mother buy her house when the fire destroyed our town in Paradise. She helped us with all of that. All right, so basically, now that I'm sort of warmed up a little bit here, I need to practice my shots, right? And a pro player isn't just hitting it to try to hit it somewhere in that range. We're not just trying to hit that zone. We're trying to hit specific spots on that zone. I'm going to leave the goal blocker up so I don't have to walk back and forth a bunch. But generally, we're only aiming for either the left side of that goal or the right side of that goal, right? So, we got just random person saying faster. Is Idaho expensive? I know each city is different, but still, Ivy, it was very cheap. Like my house, when we bought it in 2000 and when was that? That was very end of 2018. We got it for like almost $250, and now it's probably worth like $400. If that gives you an idea of like the market in this area. So now it's expensive here. We got Justin, random person saying faster. I think you're talking about the drift. Here's one. That was a terrible drift. There we go. That's called the speed bag drift, right? You start, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Man. There you go. If you want speed, that's the fun stuff. However, that doesn't get you too good in a game. What you're wanting to do is do a lot of light touches like this. All right, other questions in the chat. How much income do pro players make in air hockey? Currently, not very much. The top pro in the world gets a few grand when they win a world tournament. We're changing that right now. Pro air hockey has actually been a thing for 52 plus years. We're just now making it really popular. Great question. Ivy's saying, glad to recommend this channel. We got Apprehended saying, it looks really difficult. it takes a lot of time. See, a lot of people don't realize it, but just doing this right here, like just that right there, is really hard to do. You can watch that live, though, when I go to I'm looking at the wrong camera again. You can watch this live. When we do an Overthrow the Pro, some people ask for us to train them, and so we tell them, okay, just try doing the C shape on the puck. Just touch the bottom and top, and just try to get it to like stay sort of still. And it looks so easy for them to do, and they try it, and they lose control of it. It just kind of goes all over the table, right? So it's those light touches when it's on your side of the table, and then when you hit it across the table, it should be really freaking hard. So when it's on your side, these light touches, get the player to think it's going one place. One of the biggest trick shots, if you will, is if I pull back to hit it and hit it like this, you would expect it to go, let's see, yeah, as the camera's moving. So I'll wait till the camera moves over this way. Those close-up shots are going to kill me possibly. Here we go. All right, so if I pull back to hit it this way, you would expect it to go like in that angle, right? But what if instead of hitting it dead on, I hit a slice on it? Do you see how that went straight and it didn't go to the right angle like you would expect? It went the opposite way. So that is a deceptive shot in air hockey that you can do on your friends where you set it up, you go to hit it, they get out of the way to block it because they think it's going to go at a bank shot, and instead you do a slice on it, right? We got Braden in the chat saying, are there going to be any games today? No. Today I am going to just be practicing, so this might be the most boring stream you've ever seen in your entire life, and I apologize for that, but I need my practice. This Sunday we do a weekly tournament at Germany's Downtown Arcade. We do that every single Sunday. I'm not going to be able to make it, though. A friend of mine has a big soccer birthday party, and he asked me to go. And I said, do you know that's like the day that I stream, man? Like I need my practice. The next day I'm going against Spec. And I decided to forfeit air hockey and go and play with him playing some soccer. Then after that, the next day I'm going to be sore and without practice against Spec. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, though. Are there table hockey tournaments? There are, Angel, great question. And if you want to know where they're at, you can play against us on Sunday at Jeremy's Downtown Arcade. If you want to know where that's at, in the chat, type in !ID for Idaho. You can also type in !NC for North Carolina if you want to know where they play every single week, and they play in multiple areas in North Carolina. There's 2 places in Texas they play, so you can type in !TX for Texas. And if you want info on the games that happen in Illinois, type in !IL. So take a look at what Ivy just did in the chat. You see how she did that? And then Nightbot explains, hey, it's at the 7-6 every Thursday, and it's at the Bad Astronaut on Friday's the 7-6. Bad Astronaut is on Thursdays. Yep. Good luck, brother. Man up, man on coming up tournaments. Hey, thank you so much, man. It's going to be a blast. I'm nervous about it. Spec's got my number for sure. Whoopsie. I'm getting beaten by the goal blocker. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining, by the way. You know, this is just kind of a fun one where we just kind of practice a little bit, and I'll answer your questions. We weren't going to go live today, and then we thought maybe we'll do an Overthrow the Pro, but not enough of us could make it to that event and run it. So I said, you know what, I'll just fire up the old studio and just train alone. Ooh. You guys want to see the shot that Spec hates the absolute most? Oh, we're going through the top donators, it looks like. Spec is running this remotely right now, which is really fun, so he gets to see all of my trick shots. But this is the one right here. You pull it back like this, and you let it go off the left wall, and it goes to the far side of the goal. Sort of like that. He hates that shot. So that's the one I'm going to need a lot of practice on. That right there, that shot. The idea is that you want to be able to repeat a shot over and over again. You do not want to be able, or you don't want to have, be missing your shots. Every time you miss a shot, they have a chance of stealing it and scoring a goal against you instead. So like every shot I shoot should be exactly where I want it to go. It's like that right there is called a 1-2. If you guys are wondering what the shots are called, by the way, a 1-2 is when we purposefully miss the goal, like that, get it back, and then fire the shot. And that first one pulls them out of blocking their goal, right? So the first one, off goal. Second one, apparently a miss. Huh. Off goal. And that's why these ones are hard to do. No. 1, 2. Nope. Well, I haven't read the chat in a second. Ivy's saying, I'm a guy, but I don't blame you. My mom gave me this nickname. We got the Nexus database saying, my wife's boyfriend said he likes your stream. We got Ivy saying hi to Spec, who's running it right now. My wife's husband boyfriend says Spec in the chat. You know, it was funny. I was practicing at Spec the other day, and I was like, I'm trying something new, and he really didn't believe me, which was really funny to me. Number one, I don't ever lie. Number two, I really was trying something new. It didn't obviously work against him, so then he just assumed that I wasn't trying anything new, and I'm like, all right. The fact he didn't notice means I need to take number one away from him. That's one of my newest shots right there. It's basically from the drift, and you snap it to a right wall under. Wow. All right, in the chat, let's see, what are you guys saying? Wally's saying, you think working out could help with your coordination? Yeah. When you say working out, I do that as well, but if you mean practicing, yes. The hand-eye coordination is difficult because the puck is moving so fast that if somebody were to hit it, if I were to hit it from right here across the table, like that, that gives the opponent a 20th of a second to respond, which is a lot less than people think. They think they have more time to react to it. But it's that fast, right? Just a bullet shot. Those are the worst. See, when we hit it, that would have been a get by the opponent. When you hit it too sharp, and this is what a lot of new players do that's very wrong, instead of hitting it directly into the other opponent's goal or hitting it one banked angle, they hit it so steep that it ends up doing this, right? Right? Or maybe they hit it like this, and it does that, where it actually straightens out on their side, and they just steal it. A lot of new players go against me, and they hit it like that, and it would never have gone in the goal. I don't even need to block those shots. They do the work for me. We got Salomon in the chat saying hi. We got Amaro saying hello. We got JS504 saying, should I let my girl win or no? At what sport? You ever been hit by a puck, says Clarky. Many times. I have a nice bruise on my pinky currently from the multiple times that I've been hit there. We got Brand next saying, no, dude. Yeah, I would say don't let a girl win a game. I'm not kidding. They have more respect for you when you win. Oh, I should tell you that story. Sam Self, you guys might remember him. They call him Magic Man Sam. He used to play. He was number 2 in Idaho for a long while. And he was hitting on some girl at the arcade, right? And he was like purposely letting her win. And so she beat him, and the whole arcade goes up in an uproar because he really shouldn't have lost that game. Then I played her, and I just crushed her, right? Before I did that, though, I asked Sam, I'm like, why'd you let her win? He goes, because she's cute, right? So I played her, I crushed her. Afterwards, she comes up to me, not Sam, and she's like, hey, what are you doing later? And blah, blah. I'm like, oh, no, like, she's hitting on me right now. I'm like, no, I'm married, like, chill out. But it was funny because she saw that, as far as I could tell, you know, like, Sam he should have let her win. Where it's funny is that now every time somebody beats Sam, we just say, oh, did you let that person win because they're cute? So, like, every time I beat him, I'm like, oh, thanks, bud. Like, you obviously think I'm cute. We got Lil Josh in the chat saying, well, I thought I'd seen most everything but a Pro League, but I guess that was wrong. Pro Air Hockey is wild, but makes sense, I guess. Yeah, it is wild, man. You got to get this thing going real quick. You got to have a lot of angle on it. You got to do your shots where they don't expect it, right? The one I'm working on that's really difficult that Doug Howard showed me is that you hit it like that, and you need to end with your hand past it, almost like a follow through and maybe a golf swing. And it's so hard to do because normally all these shots, when you hit them, you follow through over here, right? If there's a follow through, you make your shot and it's over here. But with this shot, instead of me hitting it and following through over here, I have to hit it this way and follow through on the opposite side. And so it's such a pain. It's so hard to get. If I can get that one, I think Spec will be done for it. And I know that he's watching this, so Spec, eat your heart out. Are you going to play against someone? Not today, because nobody was available today to play against. So today, I'm just getting some practice and asking your questions in the chat. We got Koki in the chat saying, "Yo, what's up, Koki? Did you see the JPEG that we used for this segment today? We used your fan art of me, bro. That's right, guys. We have fan art now." Whoopsie. We got QM saying, what year were you at your best? I remember back when Anderson played you, and I feel that was one of your best games. Oh, I only beat Anderson in one match before he passed away. And I honestly think that my best is currently. And I only say that because it's like riding a bike. The more practice you get, the better you get at it. And if you stop riding a bike for a year, when you jump back on, you're still doing pretty decent. So like right now, I could easily beat the Nathan from a year ago. I really believe that. It just so happens that all the rest of the guys here are doing so good also. It makes me look like I'm doing worse when really they're doing better. Great question from QM4337. We got Random Meme saying, I can guarantee you that he isn't one of the 120 people I'm watching right now. I don't know what that means. Koki's saying, you did what? Where is it? I don't know. It's on the JPEG, so I think that maybe when the live stream is over, it'll show up. Oh, wait, you guys, I probably should explain what I'm doing right there. Do you guys see on the screen right there, there's a sandpaper. By the time I get here, it's going to be moved. Do you see this thing right here? That's a piece of sandpaper, and we use that because these pucks get really, really beat up. I don't think I'm going to be able to fully show you the chips and stuff that's missing in the puck. I really thought I'm going to be able to really show you. There we go. There's a nice close-up camera. Bam. Take a look at that. And it moved again. This is going to drive me crazy. There we go. No, you're never going to see it. Take my word for it. There's chips and stuff. When a chip happens, it literally won't float anymore on the table. So you have to sand it down. Once it gets sanded too much, though, it becomes useless. There's over 1,000 holes on the table that help this thing to float. And one thing that I have to prove, by the way, they always like, oh, we went this giant debate of like flat Earth versus round Earth. It's definitely round, by the way, for those of you out there that want to be a part of that group. But they said, well, the table's flat, therefore the Earth is flat. It was really dumb, but my point is this. It's actually not. Check this out. If I let go of this, it should go straight across the table, or it should have stayed right there. But you're going to notice it's actually going to have a slight arc to it by the time it gets there. But do you see how it's already arcing? You see that? These tables actually have a slight concave to them. And you see how it's now drifting back to the center? Well, you will when the camera switches over. But it actually has a concave center to it, and the puck will always end up in the middle of the table. Like you see how it's now floating over here, and it's going to turn around and come back. Because there are two walls underneath the table here and here, which is why if you ever see a kid standing on a table at an arcade, you should slap him because they can break this. It's actually, there's no support right here in the middle of the table. You see how this thing just keeps kind of going around? Eventually, it'll center basically in the very middle. See when I let go of it, Oh man, the camera keeps switching. That's gonna kill me. We need to get these close-ups out of here. Thank you, Spec. Sorry. You guys can see it there. Okay, do you see how the puck is now just staying there? That's because it's concave to the center. Our job is to balance the legs out to make it perfect. This is also why it's really hard when we go live remotely. Like, let's say we go to a park and we put this down on the cement. It takes us a while to level it. If it's unlevel and it's like crooked, the puck will just slam on the side, right? You'll hit it and it will just bounce on the side. So there's a little bit of knowledge for you. A lot of people don't realize that. So when the puck is doing this in the middle of the table, it actually will start bouncing towards the center of it. So if you wait long enough, see how now it's on the line, now it's off the line? As soon as it gets back on the line, this player can actually go for it. See like how it did that automatically? This person can go for it. So if it's ever bouncing, you'll see them fight on the line because they know it's going to come back over their way. We got B-Dog in the chat saying, hi. Ickle saying, are we live tomorrow? No, not tomorrow, but Sunday. We will be live for our Monday weekly tournament. And then we'll be live on Sunday. I'll be going up against Peter Kai Spec. He's currently the #1. He took it from me after me holding it for 4 years. He stole first place from me. I won the Idaho State tournament in 2025, but he, at the very end of 2025, beat me in a challenge match. He challenged me the day of, and I went for it and lost pretty heavily. So I'm going to try to earn that back this upcoming Monday. Stupid people, sadly they exist, says Koki. This is so stupid, you actually have to explain this. We have to explain the fact that the table isn't perfectly flat. You would have guessed it was, so I don't know how that makes someone stupid. Explaining the sport. Actually, I'm going to call you out, Weedy. Come out and play. If anybody beats a pro in even one game, we give them $100, but it's never ever happened. Never even once. People think it's so much easier than you think. Against the new players, you'll watch me. If I get to like 6 points, I'll usually pick up my mallet and let them try to score a goal without my goal being blocked. And they usually can't even aim that. They just hit it and hit it and hit it. They just do this and they just keep hitting it and they just keep missing over and over again and they never actually make the goal. We got Red Joker in the chat saying, what's the best way to get started in air hockey and other pro tournaments? There are pro tournaments. The best way to get started is to hold the mallet the right way with 3 fingers like this, not like this. Hold it like this. Do not block all the way back. Did you know that the original pro players used to put like sharp objects on their goal? So if they pulled all the way back, it would actually cut their wrist, right? So it forced them to play up higher. And the reason is that a straight shot is so much easier to make on somebody. That's how Spec beat me, is that every time he would shoot, I would pull back in the middle, right? So the best thing to do when you're playing, if you're a new player, is to hold it the right way, block right about here, not all the way back, and when you hit it stinking hard. And I mean like really stinking hard. Most people at the arcade, when they hit it about that hard. Like the hardest they hit is like that hard right there, which is nothing, right? It should be so fast that they can barely control it. And every shot, they should get it back and stop it and adjust their shot, right? It should be like that. Did you guys also know that if it flies off the table and you catch it with your mallet and hit it back on the table without it touching your hand or anything, if it doesn't touch a wall or anything like that, it's still live? It happens so rarely, but if it pops off the table and you're able to smack it back on the table, then it's still a live puck and it's in your possession. All right, in the chat, let's see, what do we got? Did the chat die? Let's see, any reason why you shouldn't defend close to the goal? There's a lot of reasons. The #1 reason, though, is that when you come all the way back to block it, you're opening yourself up for every single straight shot, and they travel the least amount of distance. If you want to know why you don't block right next to your goal, watch me a few weeks ago losing to Spec, and that's the exact reason why. And watch every single Overthrow the Pro, because we do a segment called Overthrow the Pro, where we go out in public and let anybody go against us. Every single new player that is in the area, we announce it, we let them come out and try against us, we'll play for a few hours in a row. No one's ever beaten a pro, but the #1 thing they all have in common is they block all the way back, right? And here's the other thing, if you block all the way back, how are you going to stop the puck? And the answer is you're not going to stop it. It's going to bounce back to the opponent, right? If I hit it, I stop it by pulling back because I was up here to do that, right? I'm up here, I pull back. How can I pull back if I'm all the way back already? So if I am all the way here, I might block a shot, but the opponent's going to get it back again and again and again until they finally make a goal. So blocking up here means I get to stop the puck and keep it from getting back to the opponent. The other thing is that once you block it, you want to dive your hand way up here to keep it from going all the way across the line. Koki's saying, does Spec train in private? No, he made a deal with the devil, and that's the only reason he won ever. He, you know, like the Orokai in Lord of the Rings, they didn't really train. They just sort of were spawned in like a mud pit. That's sort of how Spec got his training. Just kidding. Yeah. Sky must be eliminated, saying any tips in case a puck always flies up where you hit it, no matter the angle. Yes, the tips are usually that there's junk on the rails. I wish I could show the rails, but it would take a lot to get a camera unmounted and all that. But we leave some gunk on the rails on purpose, believe that or not. And it helps the puck to bounce better. I didn't think that was true. I got new tables. I've owned 7 of them. I've cleaned them all. And it works way better when there's actually some stuff on it. But when it gets too much and there's junk in the corner of the table, like the corner rails, then the puck will use that like a ramp and fly off. So if I go to an arcade where it flies off, I'll ask permission from the owner if I can clean their table. They usually have no problem with it. I'll take an actual scraper, like a sheetrock spatula, and just carve the junk off of the rails. It's really gross. It's really gross. It'll like curl these black curly gunk lines. And then that will usually let the puck stay on the table better. If it's the puck's fault because it has too many dings, that means you need to sand it. If it's none of those things, I've even seen it where the table isn't balanced enough. If the table is not balanced, if it has, let's just say, a ramp to it, right? And when you hit the puck, it's going to obviously fly off also. Koki's like, oh snap, Specs. Yeah, Spec actually is remoting in. He's not able to make it today, but he was generous enough to log in to get this all set up for me so that I could stream it. I'm not nearly as smart as he is when it comes to the technological side. I give Spec a lot of crap, by the way, guys, but honestly, he's like one of my best friends, and he's extremely intelligent. I just don't like to tell him that because it goes to his dumb head. He also just got engaged, by the way, so everybody in the chat should give him a congrats. When I'm practicing my diamond drift like this is the reverse drift, I usually count and I want to get to 100 without breaking contact. Like if I break that pattern, I lose, right? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just keep doing that until I reach 100. If I miss it one time, I have to restart. Which I know is extremely boring. Maybe some of you guys will listen to this to go to sleep. My wife is a weirdo, and she will listen to like carpet cleaning videos to fall asleep sometimes, where it's just that like white noise sound. Are you guys like that? Are you weird? In the chat, let's see. Granger saying balance. How does it even get dirty? Koki asked. I don't actually know. Just the dust that settles on a table. It's a big flat surface, right? So just the dust on it. In bars, it gets dirty extra fast. People spill stuff around it. Granger's saying male or female. Sky must be eliminated, saying, gotta ask the manager then. Thank you. How does it, we got Brad in the chat saying hi. We got Riley saying, bruh. When my kid said that one time to me, I've got kids, by the way. I'm older than I look. Like, when my son, for the very first time, said, bruh, like I asked him to do something. I'm like, go clean your room. And he was like, bruh. I almost killed him. I'm like, what did you say? Did you just say, bruh? What does that mean? And he's like, I think it means brother. The kids are saying it at school. I'm like, so you just said like, oh, brother to me when I asked you to do something? He's like, I'm like, you better go, you better go do that thing right now, or your sister will be wishing she still had a brother. I will say that I do say it now more than I should. I actually say the word bruh way too much. Okay, here's something that's kind of interesting. When the camera switches back, there's usually a good side and a bad side to a puck, right? So this is a side we've been using. Watch this. Okay, and it slowed way down really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I flip it to a side that hasn't been used nearly as much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Like in that same amount of time. And you see how it keeps moving back and forth pretty smoothly, whereas the other side's been sanded so flat, it almost suctions to the table. You can hear that slow down almost instantly to where it almost stops on the table, right? You see how slow that's going right here? So slow. So a lot of people don't even notice that. Pro players will notice when there's a loose bolt on the rail, and I thought that was a joke too. George Anderson did that once. He hit a puck and was like, whoa, that rail is loose. And I'm like, there's no way he could know that. Turns out he was right. When you're used to a puck returning at a certain speed and it returns slower, it usually means the rail is loose and it took a lot of the momentum out of the puck. Riley's saying, I just think it's crazy there's pro air hockey, and yeah, I don't actually say it in person, just online, which is weird. No, that's all right. Hey, Riley, I appreciate you chatting in. I was surprised to find that it was pro also. I owned a table at my house, and I wanted to start learning the rules when people would come over to play against me, so I looked at the rules. And then I looked up trick shots, and I found the world's best player, Colin Cummings. He's a 13-time world champion. And I contacted him on Facebook. I didn't expect him to respond, but he responded and invited me to a tournament. I went thinking that I was going to kick some butt, like most people watching this channel. They're like, oh, I could easily beat these guys. I got wrecked. After like a year plus of training, I got absolutely blown out. And so I had to train even more. And the difference isn't just training, it's training with a professional player to know exactly how they play, right? You think you're really good at something. It was like Halo 2, right? We were all good at Halo 1. And then Halo 2 came out, and we played against other people. And how much faster do you get better at something when you're playing against people that are really, really good versus not? This is kind of fun. This is what Carter does a lot of this. He keeps the contact of the puck, and he shoves it. It's a goofy shot. I don't really like it. I like it when they keep contact with it until the last second, and they break contact to make the shot. That's what my brother, one of the commentators, he calls it a dragon shot because you drag the puck up and make your shot. And so it looks a lot like this. It's like a drag and shot, right? He'll even call it the dragon stance when they step back to do it. In the chat, air hockey has always been tough, says Isfafti. We got Gain saying hi. We got Ish saying, what is the first trick shot you learned? I would say that the first trick shot is just that cut. It's called a cut when you hit it straight when it looks like it should be going at an angle, right? That right there, when you skim it. It's like in pool when you hit the edge of the ball instead of it going straight, right? Or instead of it going to the right. So if I hit it like this, it should go to the right like that. But instead, if you skim it, it goes straight. And the difference is what side of the goal it goes into. They're thinking it's going to go into this side of the goal. And instead, actually, I'll wait till the camera switches. This will be perfect. I'll be right here already. Hey, look at that. Normally, it would be going to this side of the goal. But when you do that cut, it goes to this side. So they go out of the way to block it, right? So that is the first shot that I learned that was a trick shot. The problem is people watching it don't see that as a trick shot. New players, when they're watching this, they think it's cool when we do stuff like this. Like, they think that's the coolest freaking thing in the world. When in reality, what's really cool to an air hockey pro, like if they were watching, would be something like this. Like this shot here, right there, where it looks like I'm doing one thing. I skim the puck. It goes to the far side. So the problem is what is really actually a professional shot and like would make pros go, wow, how did he do that? Is nothing to new players. But the stuff for new players is just junk to pro players. If some guy was out here doing a lot of this stuff while shooting, right, that might look cool and seem cool, but it's really not. One of the funniest shots that we don't do very often because it's really hard to actually pull off in the first place, it's called a turkey shot. I'm going to try to show that. I haven't practiced it in a while. But the turkey shot, you start it here, and instead of hitting it to the other opponent's side, you hit it to your own side, like this. And it should hit here, here, there, and then go in their goal. It's just, yeah, like that. That's the turkey shot right there. It's such a janky shot, though. It's so dumb. I like to do a hybrid turkey shot where I hit it to the corner and then fire it in that way, sort of like that. It's half a turkey, so I call it a chicken shot. What's half a turkey, chat? Marco Polo in the chat saying hi. We got Taco Truck. Welcome back, Taco Truck, saying, yeah, the cuts were slick on Monday. We got Riley in chat saying, it's been so long since I played air hockey. My brother and I used to play with all 4 pucks at one time. Yeah, they call that multi-puck. The only problem is when the pucks hit each other, they fly off. And we broke this TV. If you guys see this at the bottom, you see how messed up this is? That's because we hit that TV on Monday, and it cracked. We've broken 3 TVs already. So we're going to take that TV and our really dumb skibbity toilet, which I'll grab since we're going to go to since the cameras are going to zoom in anyway. The dumb skibbity toilet. Take a look at this dumb thing. My wife got this for me when we hit the 30,000 sub mark. Where's the camera? Why hasn't it switched yet? Oh no, there we go. Look at this dumb thing. So as soon as we hit 30,000 subs right here, we get to take this dumb skibbity toilet that my wife bought me to destroy. We're gonna take it to the range because we're in Idaho. We got guns. We got some big stuff here. We're gonna take it to the range and blow it to pieces. I guess we're going to do it live, which is weird. I don't know if we can have guns on YouTube, but we'll find out. And now we have the TV to bring with us. So we're going to destroy a TV and the dumb skibbity toilet all at once. Justin saying hello from Canada. Hey, Justin. Thanks for popping in. I'm just getting some training in before my big match on Monday against Peter Kai. See, now the puck is being sluggish again. Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't notice that. And they would think that like we're just cheating when we sand it. But usually when a player sands it, it's agreed upon by both players. They have to ask the ref. They'll say, hey, ref, can I sand it? And usually the opponent will be like, please, because they usually both notice it. Hello from Indonesia. Hello in the chat. We got Bentley saying, I just subbed. Hey, Bentley, thank you so much. Oh, wait, the camera's right there. Thank you so much, Bentley. You are awesome. Appreciate you. Today's going to be a little bit more of a boring stream, because there's nobody for me to play against right this second. But instead, you guys can ask me questions, and you guys can ask me basically anything. I'm a pretty open book. If you want to ask me air hockey stuff, you can, but you can also ask me non-air hockey stuff if you would prefer. It's my birthday, says Silas. Happy birthday, bro. We got Ulysses in the chat saying hi. This is the fun stuff. It's like, can you keep contact entirely? But this isn't really useful for the game, but it feels really fun to do. Once again, the diamond drift, because I get asked that a lot from new players. They'll say, how do you do that? When we're doing this right here, the problem that they do is they'll hit it and they pull their mallet back down and they don't know what to do with it after that. But in reality, you hit it and then move your mallet past it. Once the camera switches back over to here, I have it set to auto rotate all over the place. Once it comes back, I'll show you what I'm talking about. It does take a while to practice it, but here you go. So you go past it, right? I hit the puck, I go past the puck. Once it comes back, I hit it when my mallet comes back down, right? So I'm basically just doing this right here. I did not invent this, but my mallet should just be doing this basically. If you watch it, if you see what my mallet's doing right now, it's just going up and down. That's all it's doing. But when a new player does it, they pull their mallet back instead of moving it forward. Koki asking, how did I discover air hockey? I got a table from a coworker. It was a bad table. It was a Rhino. It was not a Dynamo table. It had the wrong dimensions. And I played at my house a whole bunch. This was in California. And a lot of people challenged me and came over, and I was able to whoop them all, mainly because I didn't realize that table was a different dimension than an actual pro table. So it's like I had my own angles down for that table. And then I started playing on a Dynamo table, and my angles were all off, and I had a hard time beating people. I had to relearn how to play. And then I learned that there was pro air hockey, and it went from there. We got Mario saying, you are Polaco. I have no idea what that means. We got Emery saying, oh, hello there. Hey, Emery. Thanks for popping in. We got, why are we not float like hockey pucks? We have air, says Hakano. We got Cornoa saying for kids. I will say that this channel generally is for kids, but there's some stuff that's inappropriate. Generally, we try not to swear and cuss, but the chat gets a little bit crazy because we show the chat. You can see the chat right there in the background. We even sit down in those chairs that you see right there after each game where you can ask the players questions, but sometimes the chat can be a bit inappropriate. I will say, though, that props to you guys, because there was somebody in the chat a week ago that said, wow, this chat's really mild, and it's mainly because we've grown with you guys, right? You guys know us. We know you now. We know our regular people in the chat. And when somebody tries to be all like dumb in the chat, they usually get called out by you guys. So like I appreciate you guys like crazy for that, because my kids also watch this channel and a lot of other kids watch this channel, and it's really hard to screen it. We knew we were taking a risk by showing the chat live, but it's also really fun to prove that it's live. Like nothing proves it more than you being able to check it for yourself instant speed to see if it's actually live or not, right? The camera's going to switch in a second, and then you get to see your stream. I'll wait right here by the TV. I will say, though, it takes about 8 seconds for you to hear what's being said, and then for you to type it in and send it back, and it to show it, and then you to see it would take another 8 seconds. So you guys will have to tell me how long it takes for you to see your own chat that you post. But from what I could tell, it's like the 30 plus seconds. We got Leslie saying, finally a live stream that's well presented, informative, and genuine effort worth sticking around for. Well, Leslie, if you enjoy this at all, you'll like it when we actually have some real live games, which is going to be this Sunday. We go to a local arcade. You're all welcome to go. It's in Germany's Downtown Arcade in Nampa, Idaho. They also have games in Illinois, Texas, and North Carolina. But then the next day after that, Monday, I'm going to be playing for the #1 in Idaho rank. I held it for 4 years, and Spec beat me just the other day, so I have to play him for it. So I'm practicing for that right now. And that's a lot of fun. We have pro commentators from outside of the state. They remote in. If you guys would like to be a commentator, you should send us an email at aahlconnect@gmail.com. And we'd love to connect with you guys. I had somebody just recently shoot me an email and say that he would like us to go and visit him at his place in California, and he has a steel top table. This is made out of formica, which is like a rock, right? It's a thin layer. It's actually really, really brittle on the top of these surfaces. But this guy has an original steel top table, not made by Dynamo, not made by Brunswick, but right in between. They're not very good tables to play on, but it's just kind of cool. It's like driving a super old car, right? It might not handle the best. It doesn't have air conditioning, but it's sort of a piece of history. So I'm excited to go to his place and play on it. It is weird going to strangers' houses that have invited me to their houses. So if I get killed or lose a kidney, you know what happened. But I'm excited for the hospitality. You guys are also welcome to come and join us over here as well. We got 2056-ish saying it's pretty short delay, honestly, between when a message sends and shows up on my screen. I'll time this one. Hey, thank you. We got Hekana saying the screen thing is, in my opinion, the boldest and highest quality move I've ever seen. Keep up the great work. I feel like I'm part of the stream when I see my comments. That was sort of the idea, and we had to put a bunch of stuff in there to like block stuff, like certain bad words, for example. We had a Spec had to sit down with his fiance and think of every bad word he could think of and plug it in. It's just kind of funny. Does it not mean you guys should try them out? Mr. Guy saying, yo, what's up? We got why so is free white right now saying, hi Nathan, what's up? Easy saying Brazil, what's up guys? I gotta let you know I'm a bit nervous about my game coming up on Monday because I have a very bad problem with my blocking. I'm supposed to block right here, and I should move a little bit over or a little bit over this way to block a straight shot. That's how you block a straight. You stay here, you move a little bit to this way or a little bit to this way, and it blocks all straight shots, like almost every one. But instead, I pull back to here, right in the middle, and open up both sides. This puck can easily fit in both sides of the goal, if you can see that, on either side. So that's why we tell people not to block in the middle of their goal, because you're leaving so much open. Now, a new player will have a really time aiming those shots, but a pro can aim those shots like a nail driver, right? Like, I have no problem aiming that shot, so I prefer it when somebody blocks all the way back, right? Right there, that would have gone in. That one wouldn't have, because that was right down the middle. But I think you get my point. We got Kellen in the chat saying hi. We got Hardy in the chat saying stuff. We got Koki. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Cookie in the chat saying, are you able to make the camera stop switching, please? Yes, I am. I'll go do that right now for you, because it's driving me crazy, too. It'll take me a second, though. I have to sort of walk. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me. Let's see. Can I stop it? Here we go. Bam. Let me switch the camera angle, though, to this one. Nope, that was wrong. How about that one? There we go. The only problem, though, is that now no one gets to see their chat. But there you go. Now people aren't going to know it's live. Taco's saying that's odd for you because you seem like an aggressive player. Now I got to remember what I said a second ago. What's the difference between holding the grip or not? There's a lot of difference. I already explained that at the start, but just so that you guys know, you don't want to hold it on the top like this. You can't reach as far. You can't defend as well. You can't hit it as hard. So when you hold it with the 3 fingers in the slot like this, you can go a lot further. You're able to hit it harder because it's like a whipping motion and not like being stopped by your elbow. And you can stop the puck easier. When we hit it, we have to stop the puck. That's like getting an interception in football, okay? If I use too much force against it, it bounces back to the opponent. Same goes for if I'm blocking all the way back. If he hits it really hard, I might block it, but what's going to happen? It's going to pop back over to him. So instead, I have to block up higher, and then when it comes back, I pull back against it so I can gain possession. Gaining possession just means I have the puck, right? So if he has it, and he hits it, and I do that, boom, I've just stolen it from him. You also have 7 seconds before it has to get across the line, by the way. Cookie saying thank you. Yep, no problem, bud. Hey, thanks for the thought of keeping the camera the same. We got Hakano saying, wow, man, Cookie stole our cookies. Santa gonna be mad. We got Taco saying, I was referring to you moving back to block a cut. The thing is that, yeah, you really shouldn't. So, like, if I want to be aggressive, I actually want to stay out here. So let's just say he goes for the cut, which goes into this side of my goal, right? What I would do, because he has got that perfect shot, is move like 1 inch this way. It will hit my mallet and then pop to the side, giving me possession of it, which is what I want to do. The problem is I can move over 1 inch to the right and gain possession, or I can pull all the way back to the middle and let him get a goal. I don't know if you've seen Kung Pao, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time, where he's like, okay, I had 2 options. Take the claw to the face, roll over and die, or do a spinning back kick and beat the guy. And then he like dies right away. He's like, oh, I should have chosen the second one. We got Jackson saying, it's my birthday. What's up, Jackson Edits? Lisa Smith in the chat, letting people know this is in Idaho. I will say I am pretty choppy. My best shot is the cut shot, and I haven't been able to land it on spec in a while because I've gotten choppy. So like if I want to really practice my cut shot, I'm actually going to take this goal blocker, separate it, put it back, and leave that spot open for myself and make it sort of narrow. And then I have a way to practice to know if I've really made that shot or not, right? And I want to take it like this and make that shot. Now, I know that looks really simple, but it's actually really hard to aim this dang thing because you're hitting a circle to another circle, like in pool, right? Woo-hoo-hoo, 2 in a row. Okay. And this is how pros practice. They usually block the goal, though, just so that way they can get it back a bunch. I'm going to try a right wall over, which is hard. Nope. Basically, I'm trying to get it in that same slot, but after hitting a right wall shot. Yeah, right there. That's good. That's good. Is this boring, you guys? If so, I'm sorry. You should swing by on Sunday, where we have an actual live tournament at an arcade, and you're welcome to go there live. Oh, I missed that. And Monday, when I try to take my title back in Idaho. Man, I missed so many of these shots. In the chat, Koki's saying, you just exposed your power shot. Now Spec is going to train. Oh, he knows. He knows my power shot. And I hope he does train against it, because if Spec trains against that shot and he blocks it, it's just going to cause me to get better, right? This is why I get so mad when he sandbags, because we'll play a lot of like screw around matches at the arcade or like tournament matches, but just for the fun weekly tournament, and he purposely plays with less intensity, and he usually does a pretty good job still even doing that. But the problem is that if he played at max intensity, it would cause everybody else to do better as well. So when I'm playing against like pro players, I try to go with max intensity as much as I can, because it causes them to get better. Ooh, almost got it. Nope. Taco's saying, I know Spec said he likes to slow the game down against you. It's true. I really like a good fast game. It's kind of funny. People can actually beat me if they go fast game against me like Josiah, because it's tempting. There's a lot less control. So if somebody goes really fast, I have two options: slow it down and be accurate and win, or play really fast because it's fun and lose. I was told by a pro once when I was first starting out, he said, Nathan, do you want to have fun or do you want to win? And it really killed me when he said that. And I was like, well, I guess I want to win. He's like, well, then stop going so fast, slow it down till you can control it. So I will say, if you want to beat me, if you play really fast, it's so tempting and fun. It's so enticing to dive into that super fast game with zero control and just go crazy regardless. If you score against me when we're going fast, I usually don't even care because I'm like, well, that was fun, right? I've actually been told by a lot of people that I've lost the fun of the game because I play too exact and I need to just, have a lot more fun with it and not worry if I let a shot get through. Man. See, this is why I need practice. I can't get this right wall. Nope. All right, what's the chat saying? We got Yo is free right now. Or So is free. YSO is free right now. Saying, hey, Nathan, I'm Jaden. What's up, what's up? Hi, Jaden. Welcome to the chat. I miss you, buddy. We got Cookie saying, where did you get your air hockey board? That's a great question. Somebody was selling this one in Reading. And I actually looked on the Craigslist post from like 7 years ago to see if I could thank him for it and just say like, hey, look where your table's at now. It's on live streams and it gets seen by millions every month. And I just can't pull that same like message back up. I can't find the dude that I got it from. But he sold it for only $700. It was more expensive to get it here than it was to buy it. And then I found another table that was even newer than this one for only $200. Somebody had bought a vacation home in Oregon, and in this vacation home that they purchased had an air hockey table and it had been barely used, and it was a brand new table, a $4,000 table, and they just wanted it gone, so they offered it for $200. And I live like 9 hours away from there. No, that's not right, maybe 7 hours. And so that day I jumped in a car with my buddies, my brother, in this tiny little Ford Ranger, which is a tiny truck. And we drove and got it and drove back in the same day. And this thing was sticking like half out of the truck bed. It looked like we were going to pop a wheelie and drive down the road. So you just got to scour the market. Brand new air hockey tables don't play as well. You want the older tables, actually. And so you got to scour the market and get them while they're hot. Jaden, you're saying you miss me. I miss you too, bud. We got Vesuvio saying hi in the chat. We got Taco saying, is this your house? I thought it was like a club or back room of the arcade. To be very honest with everybody, it actually is my place. We kind of like opened up the room a bunch and put the banner up, and we've already broken some windows. So I like to be honest. I don't ever like to lie. I normally just skip that question. We call it the studio. But the idea is that when we start getting the big sponsors out there like Pepsi and stuff like that, this goes out to you, Pepsi, then we get a actual warehouse where we can put the cameras higher up. This is only an 8-foot ceiling, so the best we can do is have the cameras further back. And we have to stream vertically because if you stream horizontally, it doesn't get shown to anybody. We streamed horizontally the other day just to test it out, and after like half an hour, it got shown to, I think, 11 people. Then we switched to vertical and went for another half an hour, and it got shown to like 100,000. So that's the difference of vertical versus horizontal, if you're wondering why we do it vertically. Horizontal is so much better for a long table, but it doesn't make sense for the metrics. Koki's saying, so Normal Monday is basically a friends meetup. It used to be like that. Now it's very much different, where people actually challenge each other on our Facebook group. They'll say, I formally challenge so-and-so for a game. I'm challenging them for their world rank. We'll meet up on Monday and be on stream so everyone can see it. And then we get a list of all the players that are going to be playing. And so you usually know a little bit ahead of time, unless you're spec and challenge Nathan the day of. But basically, you got like a week's notice of like, okay, this person's going to be challenging me. I need to practice for it. You can challenge people even further ahead of time if you want to. Some people will do that. So if you ever want to challenge a player, you should show up. It would be a blast. We had one guy from Canada come over, and he stayed with us for a week and played a whole bunch of air hockey with us. He thought that he was going to be like super duper good. And I will admit, he actually was pretty dang good. He was better than I expected him to be by far. He wasn't the best, but he was pretty dang good. Taco's saying, what are the rules for challenging players for rank? There's actually a bunch of rules about that. The basic principle is that whoever the highest ranked person is that's challenged you, you have to play them usually within like a month and a half. That's probably the best way to summarize it. So let's just say I got challenged by like 3 people. and one of them was like no rank at all, one of them was like middle ranked player, and one of them was a really good player. I would only have to honor the match of the highest ranked player in like a month and a half. So basically you'd have to play like roughly 1 game every month. However, we here in Idaho do things a bit different where we say never turn a match down ever. If you can make it for any reason, you got to accept the match unless you're like dying of something. So it encourages play and it gets the players to be better, because what we've seen happen in other leagues is that the best player will sort of not play people. He'll get a good rank. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe the person he went up against had a bad day. And so somebody gets a really good rank all of a sudden out of nowhere, and then they refuse to play people to try to hold it, which is uncool. But we don't do that here in Idaho. We got Swari in the chat saying hi. We got Jobber in the chat saying, good to see you working, Nathan. Mizuki here. Aw, man, I miss you, Mizuki. Mizuki, one of my favorite commentators back when we first started up. So you can actually rewind way back, go way back in time. You'll hear his voice. What's the best way to practice accuracy on off-wall shots from your opponent's goal, like Josiah does often? From your opponent's goal, off-wall shots. So I think you're talking about the 1-2 shot, right? The 1-2 is when you hit it like this, it comes back, and then you make your shot, right? The best way to practice that, to be honest, is probably doing the, it's a drift that looks like this. You pull it back, it goes against the off rail. When it hits yours, you follow it, and you go like that. And you try to see how many times you can do that. So watch, this is a drill that we do. So you hit it right there, it comes back. I hit it only when it's moving forward, right? And that's when I messed it up. So I want to do this. It's actually a pain in the butt. It moves forward, I follow it, right? And eventually you start getting faster and faster and faster on that drill, and that's what teaches you to follow it. The idea is that instead of hitting it when it's coming back to you, instead of hitting it right here, you wait till it hits your off goal, and then on its way up, that's when you follow the shot up. It's called a chase shot. A chase shot is when it's leaving your side, and you're chasing it to make that goal. Great question, Mizuki. Miss you, bud. Can you give me a shout out? Cookie says, I'm trying YouTube for the first time. No problem, bud. And if you're a streamer, let us know. We'd love to shout you out that way if you want to stream out your channel. I'm going to whine for a second. I really asked quite a few other like friends that were streamers if we could launch off of them, right? Share if they were to shout us out for others to help us grow really fast. And nobody did it. They really didn't think this was going to go anywhere. So it's really fun to see how big it is now. But I don't want to be that guy also. I'd rather be the opposite, where if you need us to shout you out and grow your channel, just let us know. Shoot us an email, aahlconnect@gmail.com. I think you can see that on this banner here. It might be blocked, but it says, yeah, American Air Hockey League Connect@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I would love to get a hold of you. If you send us a flyer, I'll show a flyer for you. I'll do that for free. We got Illapam saying hi. We got some guy saying premier athlete. Thanks, bud. Man, I'm getting choppy. See, that type of a shot right there only came off because it hit the goal blocker. But that would have been so frustrating during the game, because if you hit it off actually, that's a fun thing to talk about. The person that hits it off the table doesn't necessarily lose possession of the puck. It's whoever hit it in a forward motion last. So let's just say it's leaving my side of the table, and I hit it, and it wobbles a bunch, right? And it's wobbling and spinning like this on the board, and this person, they see it, and they come and they hit it, and it launches off the table. It still goes to this person because they weren't moving forward. If they were pulling back and it flew off the table, it goes to them. So a lot of people think that they ask a lot of questions of like, who does a puck belong to when it flies off the table? That's why we have a ref during the game, is they are the ones that say, was there forward motion or not? We got Yana in the chat saying hi. Taco asking, do you guys also stream on TikTok or other platforms? That's a hilarious question. You should ask Spec that. He refuses to stream on Twitch. So you should blow up the chat and say that we should be on Twitch, because he thinks it's a waste of time. Although it wouldn't cost us anything to do, like at all. Maybe $20 a month to stream on the Twitch. That's all it would have cost us. Cookie's saying, is there a rule about stopping the puck with a mallet? Yeah, there actually is. Yeah, so they call that topping. So when you do this, that's actually against the rules in pro air hockey. And you're going to be like, well, why? Does it give you some advantage? It doesn't give you any advantage at all. There's only one advantage I could possibly think of, and I'll explain that in a second. But the negative is that it damages the table. People will slam it down, and remember, this is like a rock surface with a bunch of holes in it, and so it will actually crack the surface if you do that too much. But it doesn't give you any advantage. Like, you'll see brand new players, it's getting away from them like this, and they'll do this, and they'll slide it back over, right? You don't need to do that. If you're good at air hockey, you just put it exactly where you want to. There's never been a time like, oh, I wish I could put my mallet on top of it, except one. Here's a fun one for you, chat. Did you know the last row of holes by the goal does not have any air coming out of it? So if you hit the puck slow enough, like that speed there, except if there's a slight arc, every time it'll stop. Do you see how it stopped right there? It didn't go all the way in? Because this last row has no holes in it. So if it stops like halfway, now is the only advantage if you were to be allowed to stick your mallet on top of it, because I could stick my mallet on top of it and pull it out, but you're not allowed to. So in this case, the opponent, so let's say me, if I'm this guy, I've got two options. One, try to fish it out without putting my mallet on top of it, right? I could try to like scooch it. Now if it's over here, I can scooch that against the rail and pop it out, right? But if it's in the very center and it's right about to fall in, if I touch this thing, it's just gonna fall in, right? So I could try to fish it out, or the second option is once it's stopped moving, you're allowed to stop it or grab it with your left hand or whatever hand's free and give it to the opponent. As soon as you touch it, that's a penalty, and so you could just give it to the opponent and the ref will call it back in play. The other option, I suppose, is that you have 7 seconds to get it across the line. So technically, and I've never seen this done, but I've often wondered about using it myself, if somebody were to hit it and it stops right here, and I needed a break, like a timeout, you only get one timeout per game. If I needed a timeout, I would just relax, because I know that in 7 seconds they have to give me a warning, and then once that warning happens, it's out of play when they give me that warning. I think I'm allowed to pull it out. It's a whole thing. There's a lot of rules that are at play in that. But basically, you could just wait the 7 seconds, and it's auto going to go to the opponent. That's a good one for Brian Q. Zeta. I got to ask him that question. All right, Paul's saying, new here, what's the worst you've had your finger smashed by the puck? Recently. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera. It's going to be all fuzzy and dark. Yeah. So very recently, it was the last, second to last Overthrow the Pro that we did. I went to hit the puck, right? Like really hard. Imagine that the person's on this side. But I dropped my pinky down on accident and hit the puck really hard with my pinky in the way. And the person I was against, he's a new player. Like, it was at an arcade. He was trying to beat me for money. If anybody beats me, they get money out of it, right? But instead, I hit the puck, I got it back, and the opponent was like, oh, your finger. And I'm like, there's no way he knew that I hit it with my finger. He's too new to know that. A pro would hear the difference. A pro would see the difference. But there's no way a new player did. So I was like, how does he know that I hit it with my pinky? And then I looked down and realized how he found out, and it was because I was bleeding all over the table. You can actually watch that one. It was a few weeks ago, and I was bleeding. So that shot that I did, it cut my pinky open, and I started bleeding everywhere. It was pretty awesome. Koki's saying infinite break glitch. Taco's saying it wouldn't be a bad idea to stream on other platforms, especially if you're trying to increase exposure. I agree. You should tell Spec that. He gets real picky. If he doesn't like a thing, he'll say it's impossible to do the thing. Jabber's saying, IRC, I don't know what that stuff means, guys. I'm too old for that. It says, having your mallet over the puck at all is illegal. Yes, you can't do that. You can, however, do this, because I'm shoving it. I'm not actually putting my mallet on top of it. But you got to be careful, because let's just say I go to swipe it like this, but I have my mallet at too steep of an angle. That could count as topping, right? But there are some players that play like this. They'll do this kind of stuff, and they'll shoot it that way. Whoa, JCD Smith sending me $5. Not me, but the league. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. I don't know if you guys can see that on the TV over there. Let me show you this, because anytime we get a donation, I always want to show it off. So let's take a look here. Let me do, is it that? Maybe it's this one. No, it's not that one. How about that one? Nope. That one. There you go, bro. From me to you, I appreciate you guys. Boom. Yep, this is live. You can see it in the background there. All right. This is me getting distracted. I'm supposed to be practicing. Now if I lose to spec, I could blame you guys, right? Just kidding. Oh, IRC is, if I recall correctly. Thank you, Jabber. Yes. Yeah, you're not allowed to put the mallet on top of the puck. If it happens, and it happens, I shouldn't say super often. It happened to me a few times where when I go to hit it, even if you accidentally go over it like that, if I go to hit it and I slide over the top, that's a foul. And you'll see it happen. You'll see us playing, and you'll suddenly see one of us give up the puck to the other person. You're probably like, why did that happen? It's either because it touched a finger and we have integrity. If the ref didn't see it, but I hit my hand against it, I'm going to give up the puck. So like if my left hand is over here and my palm bumps it, I'm going to be like, all right, go ahead and take it. And you'll see us give up the puck. But the same goes for if we try to hit it and it goes over, you wouldn't really notice that really fast, but the opponent does and the ref does and I know it, and you'll see them give up the puck and say, no, sorry, I topped it, right? And it's a topping violation. Ashok saying hi in the chat. What's up? We got Meredith saying, Nathan, I know you remember me, but just saying hi. I do remember you, Meredith. Thank you for asking, though. Usually you pop in and you're like, do you remember me? I do. Do you have to hold the mallet in a certain way? Koki, no. You can hold the mallet with both hands if you want to, like a goofball, if you really want to, but you shouldn't. The proper way to hold it is like this. 3 fingers right here. You don't want to hold it like that. All right, I got to work on this right wall over now. So my job here is to hit this puck into that slot after a right wall. Let's see if I can do it a few times in a row. Nope. I'm hitting it a little bit too late. Still too late. Still too late. And I'm doing awful. There we go, that was better. Thomas in the chat, that's a new name I haven't seen, saying, is there any possible way that you can pinch the puck against the wall to your mallet to score? Yes, there is a way to do that. They actually call it a pinch shot, believe it or not, if we're talking about the same thing. I believe that's when you mean the puck is against the rail like this, or let's just say on this side, and I just slap it like that to hit it. Is that what you're talking about? Sort of like this, right? But you hit it really hard? Yes. If you do it from just the right spot, it'll go in too. It's like right there, maybe a little bit further back. There it is. So right about this bolt. I don't know if you guys can see the bolts on the camera, but there are bolts sort of like inlays in a pool table. So if it's like right here, I can, I don't know where it's at. Is it earlier? Point is, you can do it. It's not the best though, because did you notice how all those shots went to the same angle over here? So if it's stuck right there and the opponent's gonna go for it, I'm very certain I know where it's gonna go. There's not a whole lot of other shots they can do from here. But if it's in the center like here, there's a whole mess of shots they can do. They can shoot it at any angle. So you don't actually want to do a pinch shot unless they're fully out of position. If this opponent went to hit it and they move out of the way and that lane is open up, I'm going to shoot a pinch shot. But it's sort of rare. That's usually playing off the cuff. You want to usually reset it. If it's right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it, pull it back in the middle, and then reset it. They call that a reset. Let's just say it's about to get away from me, right? I jump out, stop it, pull it back, I reset the puck, right? Now I've got my shot, and I do a tricky shot like that. I'm going to want to do a cut, right wall under combo, something to that effect. Koki's saying, Jabber, oh, okay, thank you. We got, Jolly Hank saying, that is a sweet goal blocker. You know, I'm going to give these guys credit because they 3D printed this one. We've had 2 different types of goal blockers. Way back in the day, way back in my day, we had this cool one that Matt Taniguchi built us, and it has these giant magnets on it, and it's like a piece of angle iron, right? And so this thing, when it goes on, listen to this, it's just like solid, and it's on there pretty good, right? And it's fairly loud. They're very loud. But then these guys built a 3D printed one, and they put different types of plastic on the surface that gets hit by the puck, so it's like really soft and squishy. And then they made it to where you could fit them together. like so. This is actually 2 different types of plastic. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on the camera, but these 2 white pieces are different. One is a lot louder than the other one. Can you hear the difference? So like this one's way softer than this one is. And it's made by our buddies. I don't know if you're going to be able to read this, but they call themselves Puck Buddies, which is kind of fun. And so they sell these to pros, and they are pros themselves. Dan Meyer is the one that's building these. You can actually watch him beat Spec, myself, and on top of that, Chance at Worlds. You can see the difference. If I hit that left side, whoa, I'm doing so bad. That's what happens when I hit that bouncier side. Now I'm going to go for the right side and see how that sounds. Ooh, or I'm going to miss completely. You see how the sound difference? And it doesn't pop up as much. Charlie's saying, Puck Buddies, I love it. We got Zach Detack saying, I'm back at your streams from like a week ago. Do you remember me? I do remember the picture. I will say I'm terrible with names, though. Jabber saying, good question, Taco. Hey, Zach, thanks for popping back in, though. Thanks for being loyal. I would love to play against you guys. If you're in Idaho, Texas, Illinois, or North Carolina, there are weekly events that happen in your area. So just type in the chat exclamation mark and then one of those states' abbreviations. So like exclamation mark TX for Texas or exclamation mark NC, and then you can see those. Zach Attack saying, dang, I'm in Florida. That's all right. There's actually 2+ pros in that area currently. There's a lot in North Carolina. There's like 200+ people in one spot in North Carolina. But in Florida, Emil, and he flew all the way out here to Idaho to play with us. And he goes to the world tournaments. And he's going to be playing in North Carolina, I heard, in a few weeks. But you should reach out to him and have him come over and play, because that would be a blast. Daniel's saying, you are strong. I like it. Thomas saying, would love to play. Unfortunately, I'm from Czechia. Start a league up over there, man, if you can. That'd be awesome. I was reached out to by a guy in India, and he's trying to start up a league over there as well. They don't have dynamo tables in India. But it doesn't matter. You can play on any table you want. The only problem is that when there are world tournaments, it's most likely going to be on a dynamo table because they have the proper dimensions. Ugh, that's the worst. This is every pro air hockey player's least favorite thing is when they lose control of it and it flies to the other side and just sits there slowly. We got Chanel in chat saying, Je suis, which is I am, and then all the rest of it I don't know in French at all, and I'm very sorry. I took a year of French and unfortunately did not use it, so I didn't retain it. Koki's saying, oh well, I've got a blast. Thanks for jumping in, Koki. I know this is not our best stream, but I appreciate you jumping in. Cookie's saying, do you play games in Indiana? You know, my buddy just went there named Sam, but he moved back. There's nobody in Indiana that currently plays professional air hockey that I'm aware of. There's some guys in Rhode Island that play, California, Washington, Colorado. I've heard there's even a guy in Montana. And there's a lot of people in Idaho, a lot of people in Texas, and then most of them are in North Carolina. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can also, excuse me, instead of hitting the puck constantly at 3 o'clock, so let's just say I'm standing this way, right? This is going to be 6 o'clock, we'll say, okay? So 6 o'clock is facing me. And most people will hit the puck right here at 3 o'clock, right? But a lot of people don't realize you can also hit it at 5 o'clock, which is really deceptive. You can also hit it at around the 12 o'clock mark and anywhere in between. So here are the differences of the shots. So here is your very average 3 o'clock shot. Remember, right here is 6 o'clock, so if I turn it, 3 o'clock is facing this way. So this is what a 3 o'clock shot looks like, right? It's a pretty average shot. But now if I hit it at 12 o'clock, it looks like this, right? I'm hitting it with the tip of the mallet like that, and I just do a quick little slice on it. I'm showing you that again. Here's 12 o'clock, right? And then here's what a 5 o'clock shot looks like, which is basically the back of the mallet. I have to turn this thing around and hit it sort of like that. So this is what it looks like in play, what a 5 o'clock shot looks like. So it's deceptive because it hits it a second later, right? Let's see. All right, chat. Chanel's saying more French stuff. I don't know how to speak it. I'm sorry. John's saying, what's up? What's up, John Peterson? He's one of my faves in the chat. He has done so many comments. John, I don't ever really get a second just to say how much I appreciate you. Taco Truck, same goes to you. Same goes to Koki. We have a Discord, by the way. If you guys want to join our Discord, there's a fan art on there and everything. You can do that by typing in !Discord without a space, and that's going to populate our Discord server in the chat, and you can, I don't know if you're going to be able to click on it, but you can see what it looks like at least. We also have a Facebook channel. It's called the American Air Hockey League. Cookie's saying, do you record and upload your tournaments every single week, my friend? We're going to do that this Sunday at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 5 o'clock Pacific. It's also, let's see, for the people in Florida, that's going to be 8 o'clock. And we do that on Sunday and on Monday. Sunday and Monday, we stream at the same time. But on Sunday, we stream at a local arcade, and we let everybody play, even brand new people. And then on Monday, we do our professional matches. So I have a professional match coming up against Peter Kai, where I'm going to try to take back #1 in Idaho. Do you see that? This puck is so sluggish right now. This is a well-used puck, so check this out, chat, if you haven't seen this. Like, it should just go bounce, 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 and just keep going, but watch how fast it slows down. You hear that and see that? How fast that slowed down? Whereas now if I flip it to a fresh side, listen to this. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference, but pro players can tell the difference of that, whereas it bounces a bit faster, it's moving a bit faster. We also have sandpaper on the table, so let's see if that made a difference. Yeah, so here's the difference. Count this real quick and you can tell. And this is going to set you apart from the noobs out there that have no idea. Watch and listen to this. It'll be about 5 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Flipping it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a smidge faster. I know that it's going to seem dumb. Some of you watching are going to be like, I don't know the difference. That's all right. If you play professionally, you'd be like, oh, one side floats so much easier than the other side. Harold's saying, I bet you were a menace at Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. Ironically, I didn't play much as a kid. All right. Bye, Cookie. Thanks for jumping in. I'm probably going to go here in a little bit, so get your guys' last questions out while you can. Taco asked earlier, do you recognize certain players telegraphing shots? Yes. That right wall overshot looks like it'd be easy to spot coming. It's not easy to spot coming because if I am doing that, your reaction, when the puck comes over here, your obvious reaction is to come over here to block it, okay? You'll watch a lot of people that come over here to block that shot. But I'm shooting an over, which means I'm going to this side. So that's what makes it so deceptive, is that it looks like it's over here. So unless they block way out here, leaving them open to a lot of other stuff, there's no way they can block both sides of their goal. Basically, the premise is this. If somebody is choosing to block one thing, they're obviously leaving something else open. Anytime they block one thing, something else is open. So if a person's coming down here to block, I'm going to know to shoot an over on them, or maybe even a cross, right, or a cut. So if they're coming over here to block that, then I want to do a shot that's either straight onto this side, or I make them think it's coming over here and go over. Spec, Peter Kai, the one I'm going to be going against on Monday, he's very susceptible to those over shots. Let's play a game real quick. Guess the shot I'm about to do before I do it, and see if you're right in your mind, okay? Right, that was a cut. That was a cross. Let's see if you can figure out these before I do them. That was a right wall under. I sort of missed it, but that's what a right wall under looks like. That was another right wall under. That was a right wall over attempt. It went more middle. Right? That was a good right wall over right there. So if you make it look the same, the opponent doesn't know how to react. They have to learn to block all that by bringing their defense out. Right? See if you can follow this one. Right? That was an off-speed left wall under. You could tell it was like a slower shot. That's another thing in air hockey is a lot of people don't realize that you can use speed to your advantage, not just going super fast, but once in a while hitting a slow shot, right? You set up, and it's that type of shot, and they overcorrect. They actually will go out of the way, and it goes in, and they usually are more frustrated by those shots. If you do a fast shot and it goes in, they're upset. If you do a slow shot and they don't block it and it goes in, oh, they're so upset. Cookie saying, okay, bye, had fun, good luck on your game. Remember me because I will be watching. Hope you win. Cookie, I appreciate you so much. We'll see you this Monday. Poolstar saying, bro, we can count on. We got Harold saying, I bet you were a menace. Yeah. Jabber saying, do you ever open up the studio on non-stream days for newer pros to practice? Yes, but at the same time, like, I don't just want everybody to show up because I don't really trust everybody yet. So usually I let my friends bring their friends because that's who I can trust. However, if anybody asks to come over and they seem like they're a decent person, they're welcome to come over. We hang out. You'll actually, if you ask any of the pro players what brought them in, it's the community. It's not playing air hockey. This is fun, but it's really just the people that they get to meet and talk to. And so we all get to hang out. And then they challenge each other too on top of it. So yes, we've had a lot of new players. Just watch, 2 weeks ago, Kai had her dad come and play. And her dad is not very good yet. He's just starting out. But he's learning, right? So he showed up and he started playing a bit of that. Zoe was also on last week, and Zoe is also a very new player. At least her skill level is pretty low still. I keep aiming down the center, which is upsetting. The thing is that I have to be able to aim for those edges. A pro is never aiming for the center at all. John saying, Nathan, I hope you win your #1 spot back. Me too, buddy, me too. I got the Idaho State trophy, right? I won the Idaho State tournament, but I did not beat Spec the other day to keep my position, so I am very much hoping for the win. Drixie in the chat saying, subscribe, interesting information. Good luck with your game. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you subbing, by the way. Once we get to a certain number, I get to finally destroy our dumb skibbity toilet that my wife gave me. We're going to take it to the range and blow it to pieces. I'm very excited about that. I have no idea how YouTube is going to treat that. They might ban our channel if we show a bunch of machine guns. So we'll see. Let me know, chat. Do channels get banned when they show off shotguns and stuff and blow up toys on camera? Well, let me know. All right, one of my favorite shots before I end the stream. This is a very hard shot to do. I'm probably going to mess it up like 5 times. I haven't practiced this one enough. I call it the Doug Howard shot because Doug Howard made it up. So normally we do something called a drift to set up the puck, right? So you'll hear me say the diamond drift, which this is the diamond drift right here. And it's because the puck sort of makes a big diamond on the table when they do it, unless they do it really fast, in which it makes a line, okay? Here's like a circle drift. You have a lot of players that do this drift as well. This is a tap-tap drift, where if they do this, it's sort of a tap-tap. Then there's the L drift, where it makes an L, right? So I hit it here, I touch it there, and I bring it back. That's an L drift, okay? Spec does this one a lot. My main drift is going to be this drift right here, and Spec's main drift is this drift right here where he pulls it back. But there's a shot you can do from that. It's so tricky. Basically, I want to hit the puck this way, and then as it rebounds, I want to make the shot in one very, very fast motion. So let's see if I can do this. Ready? Here we go. So like I go 1, 2, 3. I missed it. Let's try again. 1, 2, like that. It's just so cool. But it's so hard to do. It's such a pain. Nope. If I can get that one down, it's going to be so sick. Nope. Nope. We got real deal Holyfield in the chat saying hi. We got Colt saying hi. What's up, guys? That shot. That's it. That's the one right there. That's the moneymaker. Man, it's such a pain in the butt to do, though. I like it. All right, guys. I hope I answered as many questions as I could. When y'all plan on your next community event, like Beat the Pro and the like? That's a great question. We had one actually we were going to do today, we were thinking, but there wasn't enough players that were available. So we have to plan it out. Let us know if there's a Dynamo table, like look for this logo right here. If there's a Dynamo table in your area, I would love to fly or drive to it and put on a huge event. But I wouldn't want to go unless there's going to be a bunch of people there, obviously. One arcade told us to show up. I called them a few times, they said show on up. I went there, and they were surprised to see me when I showed up, when I told them I was going to be there. And they said, we thought you were joking. And they hadn't told anybody. And so it wasted that was a 9-hour drive for nothing. They were actually upset that we came. They were like, why are you here? You're sort of, you're filming. We don't want you filming in a public area like this. It was really frustrating. If I was a vengeful person, I would blast their name all over the place. But my point is, I would love to go out. However, the next Over to the Pro, in my opinion, would probably be here in Idaho, because the roads are getting really bad around here, and there's some storms hitting I've heard a lot of the other areas, like, southern. So, one, stay safe out there. I think I'm gonna end this stream off. I appreciate you guys like crazy. Wish me some luck when I go live again on Monday. Sunday, I'm not gonna be able to be there, but a bunch of the other guys are gonna be there. So if you wanna see Spec play, watch Sunday's stream, and I'll see you guys all in a few days. And I appreciate you guys like crazy. Thanks for chatting in. Oh, wait, one last question. John saying, can a player win by mostly hitting straight shots? Yes. Yes, they can, as long as they do a straight to the left and straight to the right, which is like a cut and a cross combo. All right, I'm going to end this off. I appreciate all you guys. Let's see if I can do it. Where's the exit button? That's my thing I can never find ever. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and end it. You guys are amazing. Have a great